Hi everyone, welcome back to Ovidius Tech. Today I will unbox and review the Solidigm P44 Pro 1TB. Solidigm is a standalone US subsidiary created after SK Hynix acquired from Intel the NAND and SSD business in December 2021. Basically, SK Hynix, which is the world's top-tier semiconductor supplier headquartered in Korea, has bought Intel's technology, knowledge and NAND manufacturing facility in Dalian, China. Solidigm P44 Pro is an innovative SSD made in Korea, built entirely with SK Hynix components, for which the manufacturer provides dedicated driver for enhanced responsiveness. The box is bigger than those of other manufacturers and it's colored with a mysterious mix of black and deep indigo blue, with white company logo and white text on top. As advertised, the Solidigm P44 Pro promises quick transfer speeds of up to 7000 MB per second on read and 6500 MB per second on write. Inside the box can be found a booklet with installation instructions and a plastic holder with cover containing the SSD. The drive features a black PCB and like other high-end drives, this one is also single-sided. The front label follows the design of the box and has no active role for heat dissipation. This drive is produced in capacities of 512 GB, 1 TB and 2 TB and benefits from a 5-year warranty within the endurance limit specific to each capacity, respectively 500 TB written, 750 TB written and 1200 TB written for the 2 TB model. As usual, the testing of Solidigm P44 Pro 1TB will be performed after mounting it first on the motherboard's PCI Express 4.0 slot and afterwards on the PCI Express 3.0 slot, both slots being provided with heatsinks. In Windows, in order for a new drive to be used, we must first initialize it. For that, we just need to open Disk Management. Once opened, I am prompted to initialize the newly added disk. I click OK and the initialization is done. The next step is to create a volume. For that, right-click on Unallocated Space and create a new volume of maximum capacity, assign a drive letter and a volume label, then click Next and finish. The newly created volume is ready to be used. Before that, let's open a browser and search for the Solidigm Synergy software. And download it. Once the software is downloaded, extract the archive's content. Then launch the installer. On the welcome screen, click Next. Accept the terms and click Next. Make sure both the toolkit and the driver are selected, then click Next. The driver can be installed only when a Solidigm drive is detected. When finished, just reboot the system to complete the installation. To verify that Solidigm driver is installed, we open Device Manager and go to Storage Controllers. The standard NVMe Express controller is the default Microsoft driver, dating from 21st of June 2006, while the Solidigm NVMe storage controller is the one installed by the Synergy software, dating from 23rd of April 2023. The Synergy Toolkit application starts by default in the drives view, but there is also a system view available. The dark mode is loaded by default. The drives view displays all the drives available in the system, each of them with its own dashboard. The dashboard contains graphical views of health, temperature, real-time usage and partitions. On the bottom right we can find the serial number, the interface speed, as well as the name and the version of the driver in use. The other available tabs are self-explanatory: firmware, driver, diagnostics, secure erase, fast lane and smart. However, there is one functionality missing that should be added to this toolkit in order to be complete, namely a tool to migrate the system drive to a Solidigm one, as the SK Hynix system migration utility does not work with this Solidigm drive. Short note before the benchmark results. I have updated the Windows images for testing the SSD as a system drive with the latest AMD drivers for chipset and GPU, which made me retest all the included drives in this video. Therefore, you will see up-to-date testing results for the latest versions of Passmark Dismark, 3D Mark Storage Benchmark and the Forspoken Benchmark on both PCI Express 4.0 and PCI Express 3.0. In Crystal Dismark, in a peak performance test with 1GB file, P44 Pro places the second, with sequential speeds above the advertised ones. In the peak performance test with 8GB file, it holds the second place, sustaining the advertised sequential speeds. In the real-world performance test with 1GB file, P44 Pro 1TB gets ahead of SN-A50X 2TB, showing the best sequential read speed and the best random speeds from all. In the real-world performance test with 8GB file, the Solidigm drive keeps the first place, maintaining the consistency of its speeds. ASSSD benchmark determines the sequential and random read and write performance of the SSD without using the operating system cache. In the test with 1GB file, P44 Pro places on top with more than 400 points ahead of next competitor, while showing the best random read speed. In the test with 10GB file, P44 Pro gets the second place with 8,739 points. The testing with the latest Passmark Dismark places P44 Pro on the third position, below SN-A50X and Fury Renegade, while showing the best IOPS value for 4K block reads. As system drive on PCI Express 4.0 M.2 slot, Solidigm P44 Pro maintain average temperatures, both on idle at 42°C and during Crystal Dismark testing, when it reached a maximum temperature of 54°C. It's a bit unusual to test these high-end drives on a PCI Express 3.0 slot, but on the other hand it's interesting to see how the interface limit affects their ranking. In Crystal Dismark, in a peak performance test with 1GB file, P44 Pro places high enough, but below SN-A50X. In the peak performance test with 8GB file, P44 Pro takes the lead, while having the best sequential read speed. In the real-world performance test with 1GB file, the Solidigm drive gets the first place due to the best sequential read speed and the best random speeds from all. In the real-world performance test with 8GB file, it keeps the first place while showing even better speeds than previous. The ASSSD benchmark with 1GB file raises no issue for P44 Pro, placing it again on the best position while having the best random read speed. However, in a test with 10GB file, P44 Pro gets the second position with a score of 7,572 points. The testing with the latest Passmark Dismark places P44 Pro on the 5th position this time, above ADATA drive, while showing the best IOPS value for 4K block reads. As system drive on PCI Express 3.0 M.2 slot, Solidigm P44 Pro maintained average temperatures, both on idle at 41°C and during Crystal Dismark testing, when it reached a maximum temperature of 50°C. The 3D Mark Storage Benchmark evaluates performance by running gaming-related tasks and repeats them 3 times, this way managing to stress the drives enough to get a clearer differentiation in terms of gaming performance. The testing on PCI Express 4.0 shows the added value of Synergy driver, which makes P44 Pro secure the first place with the best bandwidth and access time and a score of 4,497 points. The Forspoken benchmark tests the load times of different game scenes, providing the individual results. I repeat the testing 3 times and pick the run with the best average. On PCI Express 4.0, the best average load time places the Solidigm drive on the 5th position, between ADATA and Western Digital drives. On the 3D Mark Storage benchmark on PCI Express 3.0, the Synergy driver boosts P44 Pro again, securing the first place with the best bandwidth and access time and a score of 3,847 points. It is actually the first drive scoring higher on PCI Express 3.0 than other drives on PCI Express 4.0. In this particular case, higher than S70 Blade, Spatium M480, FireCuda 530 and Fury Renegade. The best average load time in Forspoken benchmark on PCI Express 3.0 is actually the best from all, placing the P44 Pro drive the first in the chart. In the left chart you can see the best current prices of the compared drives in Romania, the usable capacity in megabytes and the endurance for each of them. In the right chart is the resulted price for 100 MB of usable capacity. For Solidigm P44 Pro 1TB, 100 MB of usable capacity costs now €9.44, which is above average. Based on the 5 years warranty of the drives and the rated endurance, we can determine that Solidigm P44 Pro 1TB supports daily writes up to 420 GB of content. Now let's relate the price to performance. Solidigm P44 Pro 1TB costs today 454 RON, equivalent of about €91. Considering its price and performance in 3D Mark storage benchmark on PCI Express 4.0 as 100%, we can see that the WD Black SNA50X 1TB costs 2% less for 12% less performance. If we consider the SNA50X's price and performance in 3D Mark storage benchmark as 100%, then we observe that P44 Pro costs now 2% more for 14% more performance, which is a really good deal. The 3D Mark storage benchmark clearly demonstrated the Solidym's P44 Pro's dominance over the WD Black SNA50X and all other tested drives. If still in doubt, let's have an in-depth look at ATODIS benchmark results. This is the sequential read diagram in megabytes per second of the Solidym drive, and this is the Western Digital's one. Here we see that P44 Pro 1TB performs way higher than SNA50X 2TB in the 512 bytes to 256 KB range and after 2 MB. The diagrams of the same tests, but in IOs per second, reveals the huge gap between P44 Pro 1TB and SNA50X 2TB in the 512 bytes to 256 KB range. The sequential write diagram in megabytes per second of the Solidym drive versus the Western Digital one shows the P44 Pro 1TB performing slightly better than SNA50X 2TB in the 512 bytes to 42 KB range and being outshined by WD Black starting with 64 KB. The diagrams of the same tests but in IOs per second reveals a moderate gap favoring P44 Pro 1TB in the 512 bytes to 42 KB range, with the remaining values favoring the SNA50X 2TB drive. These impressive results could only be delivered by high-end parts, and for that, Solidigm P44 Pro 1TB is equipped with the SK Hynix RES, an 8-channel controller in 12nm lithography, 1GB of SK Hynix LPDDR4 4266 memory for caching, and 2 chips of SK Hynix 176-layer 3D TLC NAND flash. In comparison, the WD Black SNA50X 2TB uses an 8-channel SanDisk controller, 2GB of Micron DDR4 4200 memory for caching, and 2 chips of SanDisk BiCS5 112-layer 3D TLC NAND flash. Bottom line, P44 Pro is an excellent high-performance SSD built with a winning formula of SK Hynix components that synergize with a dedicated Windows driver, with which you simply cannot go wrong. Although it lacks an option for a heatsink, Solidigm P44 Pro is an excellent choice for most applications. It can be used both on modern PCs and PlayStation 5, as it delivers consistent performance at peak load and at lower queue depths. I hope this video has been informative for you. As always, a big thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and also to subscribe in order to be notified when I release new content. Until next time, stay safe and spend responsibly. God help.